Hi guys, welcome to Reen's Place. Today I'm going to be making yeast rolls in my bread maker. I have the Wolfgang Puck machine, but you could do this in any machine that has a dough setting. Or you could just use it as a bread recipe and just go ahead and bake it right in there instead of hitting your dough option. You could do your basic bread option. Okay, let's get started. I have my bread pan here, just washed out. I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. You could also use canola oil with good results. I'm going to get a cup of water. Okay, a cup of water, and I'm going to say that is going to be nice warm water, kind of like baby bath water. Not too hot, not like you're soaking your muscles after a long day. Just tepid, a little more than tepid, warm. Okay, so we have in here a 1/4 cup of oil and a cup of warm water. And now I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put in 3 cups of bread flour. I'm going to need to fill this up soon. And when I say I'm going to need to fill it up, I mean I'm going to get Chuck to do it. I buy the big 25-pound bag, so a little harder than lifting. Okay. 2. Okay, and here's a tip for you. Totally unrelated to bread making, but I just thought I'd tell you. Do you ever make chocolate chip cookies and they come out like thin like pancakes, like so thin? If you were to substitute the regular flour in that recipe for bread flour, you would get nice thick like cake-like cookies. And very good. Okay, so I have 3 cups of bread flour in there. And then the last ingredient is I'm going to use some yeast. This is the same yeast I told you when I made my pizza dough. And what I do is I buy it at Sam's Club, and you get 2 1-pound packages, and it's like $5, or it might even be 4 something. I'm not sure, but if you buy bread machine yeast in the supermarket, it's like $8 for a jar, like a baby food size jar. So go, get the bulk stuff if you can. Into here, I'm going to put 2 1/4 teaspoons. Okay. Now I'm going to stick the pan back into the machine. Where's the handle? Okay. Okay, so again, I'm making rolls with this. So I'm going to hit my menu, and on mine, dough is number 8. So hit my menu, or... Did you ever have one of those days? Okay, 8 is dough, and then I'm just going to hold the start button until it starts. Okay, so in my bread machine, it takes 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete the dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video here, and when it's done, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show you how I make it into rolls. And we're also I'm going to do a dozen rolls. And I'm going to do half plain, and the other half I'm going to mix in some cinnamon and raisin so that my husband can have them for breakfast tomorrow. All right, so I'll be back in 1 hour and a half, and we'll pick it up from there. Okay, guys, we're back. It's 1 hour and a half later. The machine just beeped, and this is what we have going on here. Put this on the counter. I'll move over here a little bit. Okay. Looks nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little flour on my mat here, my counter. Pull the dough out. Let me move you to this side so you can see better. Okay. Just getting what's needed real quick. Okay. Okay, here's the dough. I just floured it a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this dough in half. I'm going to make 2 different kinds of rolls. So this is just my scraper. Actually, what I can do, just need the air out of it a little bit. Push the ends in. Okay, that's good. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to do half of the rolls plain. And all you have to do for that is... That's Winnie. She's not getting enough attention. Cut it in half long ways. People sometimes weigh these. I'm really not that particular, so I don't bother. I just kind of eyeball it. That one looks a little low. That one looks a little more. Put it on there. And all you do is you just turn it into itself. And then you have that. And then you stick it on your pan. And I just use a cookie sheet with a silicone mat on it. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of these. Super easy. Just turning it into itself. Again. And they're a little slightly off-shaped, but again, it doesn't bother me. If it did, you can certainly use the your digital scale to weigh them. Okay, so now I have my 6 plain ones. Then my husband's going to use this, like I said, for breakfast tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I just cut it open a little bit. Push it out a little. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to add some raisins. Oh. I'm going to say like for half a loaf, maybe like a quarter of a cup or a couple of handfuls. I just keep them in this mason jar once the container's open. Easier to get into for me. Okay. I'm going to add some raisins. I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar. That's probably like a teaspoon and a half. Maybe I'll go a little more. Okay. And then finally I'm going to add some ground cinnamon. Probably, I would say like a teaspoon's worth, or, you know, I'm just going to eyeball it. So just sprinkle it. I would say it's probably more like 2 teaspoons worth. And then you're just going to knead it together like we did earlier. So take the top over like that, about a third of the way. Take the bottom over about a third of the way. And then pull the sides in. Push it down. Now it's pretty much contained, and you can go ahead. Excuse me. Winifred! She's playing ball, and because there's nobody in there to throw it, she's in a mood. Okay. So we're just going to, it's all coming out, but that's fine. So again, I'm going to make this into 6 rolls. The end one's going to be a big one, but this one's a little small, so I'll take a little from it. And then these are the same thing. You just want to roll them so that the raisins and stuff stay in. And these are actually a little bit easier to do on a counter. A little flour. That's 1. That's 2. Three, 4, 'It's a big one. These last 2 are kind of big, I think, but that's okay. 5. And 6. Okay, so this is what you have. 6 rolls. I mean, 6 plain and 6 cinnamon. Then just take a clean towel and you're going to put it over here. I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees and I'm going to stick this on top of it while it's preheating, and that will proof them up. And I'm going to set the timer for about 15-20 minutes, as much as a half an hour depending on how warm your house is. And I'm going to come back and show you when we're ready to stick them in the oven. Okay guys, we're back. It's about a half an hour. The temperature on the oven is 350, so they've been sitting on a warm oven. They have doubled in size. As you can see, the cinnamon ones have, some of the cinnamon and raisins have come through. That's perfectly fine. And then those are the plain ones. I'm going to put them in the oven, top or middle shelf. I'm going to do them for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to take them out and brush them with some butter and put them back in. So I will turn this back on when we're going to take them out. Okay, I'm back. It's 15 minutes. Again, the cinnamon raisin ones, by far not the prettiest rolls I've made, but I'm sure they will taste delicious. And all I do now is I take a little bit of butter that I have, and I'm just going to, you could use melted butter and brush it on, but I'm too lazy for that. So I just roll it on the top of the buns. If you had something like you wanted to put seasonings or maybe some salt, or you wanted to put some minced onion, you could do it at this point here. You could also do this before you stick it in the oven at all. And you don't have to, stop in the middle. This is just how we like it. But once you start doing this, you'll figure out which way you like best, and then just do it that way. This is the way we like it best. What it does is, if you can see, I don't think you can see. It is like a little, like hollow sounding. That's because it's cooked all the way through. But this butter is going to soften the crust just a little bit, and it'll give it some pretty color. And then it's going to finish baking. So now what I do is I throw it back in the oven. Again, it's on 350 degrees. It's going to go for another, 5 minutes, and then I'll show you where we're at. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's 5 minutes later. They are done. Hope you can see. Delicious. All right, if you like my bread machine recipes and you want to see more of them, remember to like the page and also to subscribe. And I think I'm going to do my next bread machine recipe. I'm looking at a recipe for, you know, like a breakfast bread with maybe some green onions and some bacon and some cheddar cheese. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then by all means check back on my videos and I will post it. All right, guys, enjoy it.